Genius is the ability to put into effect what is on your mind. Never confuse a single defeat with a final defeat. Personality is an unbroken series of successful gestures. The test of a first-rate intelligence is the ability to hold two opposed ideas in mind at the same time and still retain the ability to function. In a real dark night of the soul, it is always 3 o'clock in the morning, day after day. Trouble has no necessary connection with discouragement. Discouragement has a germ of its own, as different from trouble as arthritis is different from a stiff joint. A great social success is a pretty girl who plays her cards as carefully as if she were playing. There are only the pursued, the pursuing, the busy, and the tired. At 18, our convictions are hills from which we look. At 45, they are caves in which we hide. The easiest way to get a reputation is to go outside the fold. Shout around for a few years as a violent atheist or a dangerous radical, and then crawl back to the shelter. Nothing is as obnoxious as other people's luck. Everyone suspects himself of at least one of the cardinal virtues. Riches have never fascinated me unless combined with the greatest charm or distinction. A big man has no time really to do anything but just sit and be big. To a profound pessimist about life, being in danger is not depressing. I like people, and I like them to like me, but I wear my heart where God put it, on the inside. When people are taken out of their depths, they lose their heads, no matter how charming a bluff they may put up. Some men have a necessity to be mean, as if they were exercising a faculty which they had to partially neglect since early childhood. The compensation of a very early success is a conviction that life is a romantic matter. In the best sense, one stays young. It's not a slam at you when people are rude. It's a slam at the people they've met before. After all, life hasn't much to offer except youth, and I suppose for older people, the love of youth in others. Either you think, or else others have to think for you and take power from you, pervert, and discipline your natural tastes, civilize and sterilize you. Men get to be a mixture of the charming mannerisms of the women they have known. No such thing as a man willing to be honest. That would be like a blind man willing to see. The loneliest moment in someone's life is when they are watching their whole world fall apart and all they can do is stare blankly. In his blue gardens, men and girls came and went like moths among the whisperings and the champagne and the stars. There are all kinds of love in this world, but never the same love twice. Never confuse a single defeat with a final defeat. All I kept thinking about, over and over, was you can't live forever. You can't live forever. He looked at her the way all women want to be looked at by a man. It was always the becoming he dreamed of, never the being. A woman should be able to kiss a man beautifully and romantically without any desire to be either his wife or his mistress. New friends can often have a better time together than old friends. Life is much more successfully looked at from a single window. If you spend your life sparing people's feelings and feeding their vanity, you get so you can't distinguish what should be respected in them. Grown up, And that is a terribly hard thing to do. It is much easier to skip it and go from one childhood to another. His dream must have seemed so close that he could hardly fail to grasp it. He did not know that it was already behind him,